Zephyr is least interested in Seihatch and tries to knock him out with one chop. He calls out Ned, but something sinister happens. Seihatch summons his demon and calls out Shoggoth. It is then explained that the Shoggoth hibernate in the form of an egg and awaken when they hear the sound of an instrument imbued with the power of hypnosis. A Shoggoth is a mindless creature with an infinite appetite, and physical attacks have no effect on it. It gets stronger by absorbing the mana of the human it devours. Shoggoth uses mind corruption to take control over Zephyr, but unknown to Seihatch, Zephyr has the ring from Rose, and with it he removes the curse and completely incinerates the demon around him. Zephyr obliterates Seihatch with his barrage of full aura punches, a skill that begins with a barrage of blows and with a final palm strike, strikes the fog of blood that the opponent coughs up, that ruptures the drops of blood and generates lightning. It is a skill known as the Dragon's Roar, feared by many in the East. Dragon King-style secret art, Thunderclap Palm. Zephyr then picks up the flute, as physical attacks don't work on the Shoggoth. He plays a song that breaks the connection of magic power that connects the Shoggoth's cell. Suddenly, Ned appears, and he is surprised that Zephyr is able to play the tune. Next, we see the two of them sparring head-on. Zephyr avoids all of Ned's attacks and even counters with his own. He asks who the hell Zephyr is. It is then explained that demon god worshipper, rank 9, Master of the East, Lone Dragon had two successors. One is the biological son of the Lone Dragon, named Strong Dragon, and another is one that he picked up from the Aslan continent, Ned Stryer. Zephyr then tells him that it's pretty simple if he uses his head a little, adding that he is a shadow apprentice, prepared for when one of the two apprentices dies. We see that Zephyr gains Ned's trust by telling him about his secret mission of stealing the dragon's heart, and also about blood tears, a stolen treasure of Ned's family. Ned takes Zephyr to the demon god worshippers' hideout, where we see that Matthias is also one of them. Together with a total of 40 worshippers, Matthias explains the strategy of the raid. Zephyr also shockingly reveals that, in his past life, Ned was his master who taught him the dragon style. The next day, the names of the party members participating in the raid are announced. We see that Zephyr meets his team members and tells them to work hard so that they can walk alongside him as well. Zephyr meets Sister Anna and gets all the items and equipment he requested. We see that Sister Anna gets them enchanted with divine power as well. The next morning, everyone gathers for the raid, and the temple knight captain Lucius leads the way on to the training grounds. A harsh training period starts. It is also then explained by Zephyr how the success of this raid is meant for business purposes and not actual peace. On the last night of the training, Zephyr and Ned have a conversation, and Zephyr tells him who has Ned's family possession, blood tears. It is then revealed by Ned how his father was scammed by a priest of the temple, Aldean, and their family heirloom. The sword Blood Tears was taken away from them. Zephyr reveals that the one who is currently in possession of the sword is no other than Ned's master. Ned goes in shock and doesn't know whether he should trust Zephyr or his master. Next, we see that the raiding party now arrives at the dungeon of the Abominable Princess. It is explained that it has 9 floors, and in the last raid, 7 floors were cleared. As the monsters now attack, everyone prepares for battle. At the same time, at the Temple of Light, Bishop Alfonso, Lucius's uncle, speaks with another priest, saying that they are in trouble since all of the combatants had left for the raid, thanking the other person for lending them his defense force. He is the head of the leader, Cardinal Aldean, one of the demon god worshippers. Battling the skeleton army, the raiders now face the skeleton golems, the combination of many skeleton soldiers. It is shown that they are giving everyone a tough time, but then Lucius clears the whole floor using the Spear of Brilliant Light. He also destroys the tombstone which was giving the skeletons power. After clearing the floor, everyone takes a break. The leaders plan how to take out the gatekeeper of the boss room as he is formidable. Suddenly a Shoggoth appears and Matthias is dumbfounded. Zephyr goes to a secret place he knew from his past life. He moves a lever and the dungeon starts to move. It is revealed that Zephyr is the one who activated the Shoggoths kept by Matthias. He tries to make his way to the boss room, and with his perk-strong luck, he evades the attacks of Lucius and Matthias. Ned helps him and follows him to the boss's room. It appears they had planned something amazing on the last night of the training. It is revealed that Zephyr convinced Ned that only the two of them should fight and defeat the boss, taking the dragon's heart in the process. Now, Ned finally trusts Zephyr and is enraged when he finally realized that his master betrayed him all his life. They barely slip past the night guard, And at the last second of strong luck, they enter the boss room. The abominable princess, Eurydica, was right in front of them. Meanwhile, Lucius connected the dots and figured out that this party had many demon worshippers. He confronts a furious Matthias, who is now ready to fight Lucius. Back in the boss's room, Ned almost fell for an illusion of the princess, but Zephyr saves him. A cute and pretty princess now reveals her terrifying form. Zephyr reveals her abilities and remembers his past life, how Lucius defeated her in a half-dead state. At the face-off between the Temple of Light followers and demon god worshippers, Lucius tries to interrogate Matthias with conviction. For now, it's impossible for Matthias to escape using the slaves, as he doesn't know the dungeon structure after it changes. So he has no other choice but to fight Lucius to the death. However, Lucius controls them with the slave mark and is seen feeling sad from the betrayal of his friend. He has no choice but to kill all of the demon god worshippers. Matthias finds himself chained with Lucius's magic. With all of his comrades slain, he resorts to his trump card, the Stone of Revelation. As he breaks the stone, he was no longer human and took a demonic form. No magic had any effect on him, and even Lucius's expensive equipment was no match. Meanwhile, Zephyr and Ned managed to behead Eurydica, the princess. However, this wasn't the end. Eurydica reveals a new form, while Zephyr smirks as he was waiting for it. That's when he gives the hint to Ned, so he dashes towards her. Ned uses the Stake of Faith, a legendary item he stole from Leona. It's an item that reacts to malicious energy by releasing its own strong divine energy. Now the stake deals the majority of the damage. In the meantime, they prevent her from trying to remove it. When the stake stops reacting, Zephyr and Ned think they have won the battle, but they were far from the truth. Eurydica summoned the Night Guard and regenerated herself back. Zephyr and Ned now prepare to battle again. Eurydica overpowered both Ned and Zephyr. We see that Ned is unconscious, and Zephyr has used up all of his items. He has no options left. Remembering all of his perks, he concludes that nothing could be done. However, he plans on doing something unthinkable. Zephyr is seen drawing a weird symbol on the ground with his blood. Out of nowhere, Mercedes the angel appears and asks Zephyr how he knows this blasphemous symbol. What he is certain about it is that the gods had decided it to be a taboo. Anyone who even draws that symbol receives divine punishment and dies. She then asks again how can Zephyr knows about the symbol, so Zephyr extorts her, asking her to pay if she wants to know that. The god and goddess are watching as Zephyr expresses his thoughts. As the goddess of life is laughing, expresses how amusing he is. A light comes down to earth and shines Zephyr up, telling the angel the message. As the light subsides, the time resumes, and Eurydica looks so excited that she kind of really wants his meat. But her left hand suddenly gets obliterated, and a horizontal slash comes her way to slash the red and dark hand. It turns out that Arya, the goddess of light, gives Zephyr the Sword of Light. Zephyr faces Eurydica in third form with the Sword of Light. Even if she was a great magician, there's no way that a human's magic can block a divine artifact. It is a one-sided massacre. Even Eurydica's ancient magic is no match for the light. As he uses the exclusive skill to strike the evil magic from Eurydica, it in turn wakes her up. Zephyr tells her he is her successor. It is then revealed that she had purified the dragon's heart. When she asks Zephyr about his purpose, he tells her to read his memories. Now, Eurydica knows everything. Meanwhile, the battle between the St. Lucius and his supposedly best friend Matthias continues. Matthias uses an attack that burns everyone except the expensive defense armor Lucius had. Furious and jealous of Lucius, Matthias continues his rampage. Meanwhile, Eurydica calls out to Zephyr as the pitiful one. She cries as she saw the future that he walks, so he tells her that this time he wants to win against the demon god if someone like Eurydica helps him to help transplant the dragon's heart into him. She apologizes, as she cannot abide by that favor. Oops!
That's something interesting. What happens next? Till then, subscribe.